Alright, now it's time for today's workout. The observant few of you who are following along may notice that the table is sideways. That's because today is going to be triceps. And if I'm going to be doing triceps, there's one exercise that I need to do. Where's the last one? Oh. All right. That exercise are skull crushers. Oh. And you'll see why they're called that in a minute. Yep, that's a skull crusher. Because if you fail, well, it's less than pleasant. Now, as funny as that is, it's also pretty unrealistic that you would get hurt doing that unless you were doing a weight that you couldn't even really pick up to begin with. So it's not anything to really worry about. But I would still say that if you would like to do these, first couple times you do them, have a friend nearby. You know, work out with a buddy, get a feel for it. Before you just dive headfirst into something called a skull crusher. Ooh, these can be pretty tough, especially on your elbows, the joints in particular. I know my boy Hunter was doing them at a pretty high weight, and his muscles were getting shredded, but he felt a lot of pain in his elbow. So, this is one of those where doing a couple every now and then that are low weight, high reps, just to really work out your joints, that's a good idea. It's also the one exercise that I think you absolutely should take some fish oil for. Just because those omega-3s are really good for your joints, and this one I always find is the most taxing on your joints. And that's just because your triceps should be able to handle a higher weight than your biceps by very nature of there's a whole extra muscle, hence the try and not buy. Yeah. So, if you want to properly shred, you will need a bit more weight than biceps. Speaking of, I'm still feeling that from yesterday. That was a good workout yesterday. But, this is one where I will highly recommend every now and then you focus on the joints. I'm breezing through these ones, through the first 3 sets, just because I know I'll need a bit of a longer break in between for the next weight up, since I couldn't even finish all 3 sets last time. These get very tiring. I think next week I'm gonna go down and wait for this beginning part, just so I can really hammer down the reps. Because this is actually pretty heavy. With those are both set to 20 pounds, but since my hands are moving in unison, I count them all as one. So that's 40, almost as if I was holding like a 45-pound plate doing this. It is a bit different than a 45-pound plate, and I would actually recommend that if you have access to it, just because you can see it kind of shifts in my hands, and that can make it a bit unwieldy when actually doing the workout, as opposed to one uniform weight and motion. That's just my recommendation if you do this exercise. So let's see. Yesterday, I talked about Jujutsu Kaisen in that 2nd season. So I guess today I'll talk about Spy X Family in that 2nd season. Pretty good. It was interesting to get that entire section on the cruise ship, almost like it's its own arc. Just to really build up your introspection. I quite like that, though I did miss a lot of the shenanigans that would happen at school with Anya. But that's okay. Focus on some things while they brainstorm some other ideas. I wouldn't want anyone to get burnt out over this. because I really enjoy the anime. It warms my heart, and it's fun as hell. And also, funnily enough, unlike Jujutsu Kaisen, I think Spy X Family it definitely has some 3D animation to it, but I can't tell what is and what isn't, which is a good thing. If you can't tell, then that's a good thing, I think. Oh, this is gonna suck. So last time I could only... You know, it's funny, I actually don't have too much to talk about Spy X Family. Because it was pretty much more of the same, but it wasn't redundant or anything. It was well done. Yeah. Which is pretty funny considering how much I could say about Jujutsu Kaisen second season. Really good anime. Love Spy X Family. Definitely one of my favorites. Up there with Overlord. £50. So last time I did Skull Crushers, I did the same thing for the warm-up. 3 sets, 10 reps, 40 pounds. But I could only do 2 sets, 5 reps, 50 pounds. So I'm hoping to be able to do the 3rd set. That's one. And you may notice, that while I was doing that, the weights weren't completely lined up. They were kind of staggered off. That's why I think it's better to have it all as one weight. Because otherwise you'll stagger it like that, and now one arm is lifting more than the other because you're lifting the other side with it instead of lifting them both at once. Yeah. I don't really have a solution for that, unfortunately. Besides maybe just get good, skill issue. You know, the usual. I'll try not to stagger it on this next set. It will not be easy, but... And that's a really good stretch to do as well. Just the exercise without the weight. It really helps. Always stretch after your workout and during your workout.